All right, time guys. So we're gonna look at headlock defense today. Peter, look for you, please. So we're gonna look at headlock defense today. One of the headlock defenses, the guy's upright. He's already got his hands clasped. I might try to peel loose. So Peter's over here. He grabs me in a headlock. Don't worry, I sanitize my hands before we start this. He grabs me in a headlock and he gets it all the way connected. First things first, if he puts me in a headlock and I'm here, yeah, he's gonna get more than I wanna actually give him. So when he puts me in a headlock, first thing I'm gonna do is move behind him. Notice how that will kind of naturally weaken his grip a little. Now he'll follow me some, so I put my hands up here to kind of stop that as best I can, but I get to this position right here. One of the things I wanna do if I can, right, is I'm gonna hook his nose with this hand and try to pry him loose. If he lets go, this is what it'll look like. From this position, I'm ready to defend punches, I've got good posture, my hand will come around and I'll just hook under his nose. As he lets go, I push his head down, push his hips, and I'm in a position where I've got him in the guillotine. I can start to take him down. I can start to do a lot of stuff right there. Two things can happen here, potentially, that don't allow me to do this move. One, I can't quite hook the nose and or eyes, right? Which will give me the ability to peel the person's face back, let loose. Or, could happen, I hook his nose, I kind of get my hand by his nose, whatever. I just don't have enough leverage right there. He turns his head sideways. I don't have enough leverage to peel the person's head loose, right? So I've kind of pushed their head backwards a little, but I don't have enough leverage to push them enough to get them to let go. If that's the case, we can do the lifting variation on the takedown here. Now, if you're with a partner that's a lot different size than you, way bigger, whatever, you don't have to lift them up. We all assume if we can get one leg up off the ground, we can run them in the direction of their other leg and we can put them down on the ground pretty easy, okay? Here's the one thing though, if you do lift them up and you want to sit them down, that's fine. If you lift them up and you start the process of dropping them, don't try to catch them. Let them fall, right? The most likely thing you're gonna do to hurt yourself is as you're dropping them, try to catch them, right? So he's here, I'm not gonna hook the nose because if I hook the nose, he's gonna let go. So I'm gonna put my hand kind of on his face. We're here, I move behind him, I get here. I go under, I try to pry, I can't. What I need to do now is bend down just like this, and as I do, my hand goes under the knee. From this position, I have here and here, I'm gonna lift up with my hips, and I can lift him off the ground pretty easy. Well, I don't know if I can lift him, I can drop him, so I don't have to drop him. If we're gonna drop him, I can lift and drop right there, land on top of him, all that stuff's cool. If I can pick him up, I can put him down on the ground, right? So the idea is, again, we're here, catch this, that'd be great. He doesn't have the grip, I can do the standard headlock defense. But if he catches the grip, I don't want to give him any more control over me than possible. So I move behind him, good base, hips forward, eyes up. We're in this position. I start to make the frame. We're assuming I can't catch his nose. So from here, maintain contact with your left leg, your inside leg, bend, go under the knee. From here, lift. As I lift, I can easily pick the feet up, turn the shoulder down, drop him on his head, whatever. And that usually goes a long way towards getting out of the headlock. For now, we just do the lift. We know we're good to go. Questions? On the lift, I'm just gonna say one thing. On the lift, I know 3 y'all. We're here, hand goes under, eyes up. When you lift the person, don't try to lift them up just like this. Lift them up by pushing your hip forward, and if you need to, take a step diagonal in that direction. It will make the lift easier, and it'll make it kind of accommodating stepping in that direction. If I had a good Jordan Peterson impersonation voice, I would have done it. So I'm doing this move on Peter, and one of the things I don't want to do is shoot my hand up in his crotch. You get it? You get the first one? Okay, it's fine. So from here, on this, and I see a lot of people end up with your hand like right here and you're starting to lift. Well, first of all, that's not good for a couple reasons. But the most important reason, like, oh, stay your position, structurally. If I have to lift his leg, where would I rather lift? I would rather lift on the furthest outside point from his center line, right? Because it's the lightest. It has the least of his weight over it. Now, I can't reach down and grab his ankle because I'm too out of position. So as I duck down, my hand goes in, but it goes out. So my arm goes in, but it goes out. Because I want to lift the widest part out on his body possibly that I can reach. Typically, it should be, if we take the halfway point of the femur, it should be that or lower, right? And if he's heavy and or tall, right, that might be problematic to lift. And either, typically if a person's wider base like this, even if they're bigger, if I'm lifting out here at the leg, there's less mass over the top of this leg. Now it's all connected, I get it, but there's less mass. So from here, just stand, good. Don't shift your weight, just don't let me lift your leg. He's heavy, so the way I lift his leg I shift his weight to his other leg, and then I can pick it up. So the way I do that in the headlock, please, is here, make a frame, dip down. My hand turns out and push him in this direction, right? And then from here, if I want to, I can lift, but it gets me to a better position. So when my hand goes in, if you're just strong and or bigger than your partner, you can just lift them right here and it doesn't matter. But if I get here and I kind of can't do that with my thumb turned out, I'm just gonna walk in this direction. And as I do, I'm lifting the leg where they can't follow. And once I get them here, I'm pretty comfortable taking them down. So if my hand's up underneath the center of their crotch, right? The problem with that is, outside of your training partner's not gonna want to partner with you, Jim, probably, right? But, or maybe they do, I don't know, whatever. Right? But the problem is that's where they're the heaviest, and they're the hardest to lift. So instead I move them this way and my hand goes out. Now I'm lifting their leg, I'm starting to naturally toggle or rotate their body. It's getting them to a position where I can more easily take them down. Make sense? Let's do it.